Dear colleagues from the Parliament of the Republic of Moldova, colleagues from national parliaments of EU member states, colleagues from the European Parliament, I am glad to see that Chișinău is hosting once again this year an important event that brings together supporters of Moldova from all over Europe. I am glad to see the broad support that Moldova benefits from in this period at the level of the European Union and at the level of all international partners of the Republic of Moldova. It is important to support Moldova because the success story of the Republic of Moldova is a success story for the whole European Union. It is a success story against all of the challenges that we're facing, be it autocrats from outside the Union, be it Eurosceptics, nationalists, extremists, populists inside the European Union. The European integration of the Republic of Moldova makes us all stronger and safer. The safety and stability within the European Union depend on how safe and stable the countries in the neighborhood of the European Union really are, as well as the countries that will become members of the European Union, such as the Republic of Moldova. We are now on the eve of a decision regarding the start of the accession negotiations of the Republic of Moldova to the European Union. And we, the European Parliament, have a clear, united position. We say, let us start accession negotiations by the end of this year. We requested this in the form of a resolution, voted in the plenary of the European Parliament with a very large majority at the beginning of October. And we are united in this request. More than 80% of the members of the European Parliament voted in favor of the start of accession negotiations with the Republic of Moldova. Dear citizens, dear authorities of the Republic of Moldova, you're all making efforts, you are all making sacrifices, and you deserve a clear European perspective, a clear perspective of accession. We know that accession is a long-term process, and no one expects accession to be finalized overnight. But this is why it is important to start this process now, and it is important to respond positively to all the EU integration efforts that you are making, people and authorities, over the course of these months and years. Since the beginning of the Russian illegal and illegitimate aggression in Ukraine, Moldova and its citizens have acted in a European spirit. You have chosen unequivocally to accelerate the European course, despite all provocations, despite blackmail manipulations coming from the Russian Federation. The Republic of Moldova and its citizens have successfully tackled the refugee crisis from Ukraine, even though Moldova is the European country that received the largest number of Ukrainian refugees when compared to its population, particularly in the first weeks of the war. By successfully tackling the refugee crisis, Moldova has guaranteed stability for the rest of the continent. We all know the risks that can be caused by a refugee influx not well managed at the EU border, and Moldova avoided these risks. For all of us, it contributed a lot to stabilizing the situation for the whole European Union at its eastern border. Immediately after the outbreak of the war in Ukraine, Moldova submitted its application for EU membership at the beginning of March 2020. And in less than 4 months, the European Union has assessed, evaluated this application request, and the European Union has responded positively. A large majority in the European Parliament, the European Commission, and all 27 EU member states have together decided to grant the Republic of Moldova candidate status last year in June. And the European Commission has also made a list of 9 recommendations, reforms that must be fulfilled for the start of accession negotiations. We see that in just 1 year, Moldova has achieved impressive progress on all these 9 recommendations, especially linked to the field of justice, but also to administrative reforms, strengthening the protection of human rights, enhancing the involvement of the civil society in decision-making processes. Reforms that were blocked for years are now unblocked by this pro-European country, and these reforms are pursued fast and decisively. At the same time, we, the European Union and all the member states, increased our support for Moldova and we do all we can to accelerate the European integration process of Moldova. We have mobilized a record financial support of over 1.2 billion euros for the Republic of Moldova in the last 2 years. We have synchronized Moldova's electricity grid with the European electricity grid. We offer the Republic of Moldova access to common EU gas storage and procurement, to the common EU gas storage and procurement platform. Moldova has been integrated into important European programs, such as Connecting Europe Facility, which is our large infrastructure program at European level, and also into the Single Market program, which will allow us to help even more Moldovan companies, especially small and medium-sized enterprises. An agreement on the reduction of roaming tariffs between Moldova and the European Union was also signed. All these measures and progress show that both sides, the Republic of Moldova and the European Union, are ready to move to the next level. And that is the start of accession negotiations. This is the big objective for now, and this is why I say, let us start the accession negotiations, let's decide this before the end of the year, let's start it, and in parallel, let us continue on this path of integrating the Republic of Moldova into as many European programs as possible, even before the Republic of Moldova will finally, institutionally and politically join the European Union. It is important to associate Moldova with all European agencies and programs that Moldova is not yet associated. And it is imperative to accelerate the gradual integration of Moldova into the EU single market. These measures will bring concrete and immediate benefits to the people of Moldova, to Moldovan companies, because integrating into the single market will mean adapting European legislation to Moldovan realities. It means that European standards of living, of protecting the environment, of consumer protection will become a reality in the Republic of Moldova. It will be easier and cheaper for Moldovan companies to export to the European market. It will be easier and cheaper for European companies to invest in Moldova. We facilitate economic development, which will lead to the creation of jobs, of stable and well-paid jobs for the people of Moldova here back home. This is why I say Moldova's European future is secured, but it is up to all of us to accelerate this process. We are all inspired and convinced by the fast level of reforms that have been taking place in the Republic of Moldova in the last 2 years, and we are ready as European institutions to be by the side of Moldova to make sure that we're going to move through the next stages as well very fast. Best of luck for today's event. Thank you very much for coming together and for working for Moldova's European perspective. Thank you.